Yes, sir. Live again. Kung Fu Chronicles. What's up, people? And I should formally say Gung Hay Fat Choy. Happy Chinese New Year. It's the theme of today, and which it's the reason why I wanted to go on live today versus it being yesterday, because today officially starts off the new lunar year, the new lunar new year. Happy Chinese New Year to each and everybody. We'll wait just a few minutes or so as people start logging on and getting into the live chat. But for those that are joining in, just want to say officially Happy Chinese New Year. And if you are into Chinese martial arts at all or in the Chinese culture, what have you been doing special today? What's been special for you today in Chinese New Year? Have you been celebrating? Have you been eating? What have you all been doing? Let me know. Let me know down below. Got all of my socials for you guys to either log on, hit me on IG, hit me in the chat here, and keep checking the chat as we go. Yeah. So let me know what you guys are doing to celebrate. What special is going on in your guys' lives. Personally, for me, we're going to do some celebrations, especially at my Kung Fu school. I know a lot of people there we're doing demos and things like that. So I don't get to do as much on the Kung Fu side, unfortunately, as I used to. I train in Krav Maga now, also for those that don't know. But those celebrations have always been near and dear to my heart. And it's really fun to do them, whether you lion dance. And now it's the Year of the Dragon officially. So I should say officially, Gung Hay Fat Choy Year of the Dragon 2024. We're really going to bring this thing in right. And I'm wearing red because that's a good luck color. And it's always actually been a good luck color for me, to be honest with you. I love red just as a color because it's just vibrant and it pops. Right. So some things to know about Chinese New Year. I'm going to get this thing going right away, and some things that you guys can take to note. So I'll just do this really fast. Let me drop the video here.
Did you know 2024 is the Year of the Dragon? It starts on February 10th based on the lunar calendar, one day after the first new moon. In the Chinese zodiac, the dragon is the fifth of 12 animals. It symbolizes luck, wisdom, strength, and power. People born in the Year of the Dragon are said to make good artists, politicians, architects, and entrepreneurs. Bruce Lee was born in the Year of the Dragon, and so was Steph Curry. The Chinese New Year is about new beginnings. People get haircuts and clean the house before midnight to sweep out the bad luck. New Year's meals include fish and rice cakes, which represent good fortune and longevity, and dumplings, which symbolize financial success. Speaking of money, it's also tradition to give out red envelopes. They have cash inside, but the real point is the red color, which means good luck and prosperity. And of course, there's the lion dance. It's festive and it's meant to drive away evil spirits to make way for a lucky and happy new year.
Yes, sir. So happy Chinese New Year, Gung Hay Fat Choy, to everyone joining in just now. I see a couple people logging on to the chat. So welcome. I'm Sifu Quasi, if you didn't know. And it's been fun going on live these last couple of weeks. We're doing this again on a Saturday special edition versus the Friday night. Usually this thing's going to happen, so people know, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Today I thought we'd do a special one to bring in the new year correctly. And just as the piece talked about, the idea of Chinese New Year, bringing in the new lunar new year, and each a cycle of 12 different animals, this one being the dragons, are very special because, as mentioned, Bruce Lee was obviously born in the Year of the Dragon. People mostly know him for that. But other notable people that were born in the Year of the Dragon, you may or may not know. As mentioned in the video, though, Steph Curry, if you're a basketball fan, great. What about John Lennon? There's a name you may know, hopefully. Beatles, anybody? Che Guevara. Shakira, The Hips Don't Lie. She was born in the Year of the Dragon. Rihanna. So if you're into music at all, those popular pop and R&B artists. Vladimir Putin, though. I'll leave that up to you. Not really one of my favorite guys, but sure. Year of the Dragon also. Big one, though, for me, though. MLK, Martin Luther King, born in the Year of the Dragon. Very special man, obviously, to a lot of us, and a civil rights icon and leader. And, very special that he was born in the Year of the Dragon. I actually did not know that until I did a little bit of research, and it just so happens he's the Year of the Dragon. So it's a lucky year. A lot of people are really obviously getting into the festivities and things like that. So let's get the chat going. Drop your comments in the chat. Some things going on with the channel. We're gonna have a special guest in just a few minutes here, and I will tell you guys that you're going to know him as soon as he comes in. Last week, we had so much fun talking to Michael Matsuda, president and CEO of the Martial Arts History Museum. And that was great. So for more information on that, and if you missed that live, by the way, the live is actually up. You can check it out on the channel at your leisure. But the museum will be opening, according to Michael Matsuda, probably within the next month or so. They're planning on it. They're working diligently every day. I mean, they're there. I don't even know when that guy sleeps, but they are there all the time. I saw a video from Kumu Michelle Manu last night. They're setting up that section, the Lua section. And shameless plug also, if you've never seen my interview with Michelle Manu, you should check that one out. She is a kick butt instructor, martial artist, all that in a bag of tricks, man. Don't let the good looks fool you. That chick is a badass. So shameless plug on that. But those guys are working very diligently. So let me get my special guest in here. He's gonna come to you like you guys are gonna recognize his face right away. Before I do, I'll give you guys a quick preview when we talked the first time. And what's a little bit different about your system of village fighting?
Well, Sansu is purely street combat.
Okay.
Like it's purely, it was brought to America by a gentleman named Jimmy H. Wu.
Nice.
And I'm glad that he did, because it really just, you ever have something where it just opens your head up to so many things?
Yes.
And Master Paul Borsov was gracious enough to share like the deeper insights of the art. What I like about what combining the Minjian Wutsu is it balances it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There he is. Sifu Gus Gates in the house with us tonight. How are you, sir?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
There he is. Yes.
I hope you're well. Gung Hay
Man,
Fat Choy.
Yeah, Gung Hay Fat Choy. There we go. There we go. That's the theme of tonight, Chinese New Year. And it's only right that I get Sifu Gus on to talk a little bit. And for those that don't know, you're living in a closet somewhere. Sifu Gus has got his martial arts school out there in Westlake Village in California. Been to school many times. In fact, we've done a lot of videos between the two of us. He's also on YouTube. Well, Sifu, you tell me your YouTube channel is what again? Just so I'm clear.
It's just Gus Gates.
Okay.
We're just trying to put some simple stuff up. I've been going down the road of the cane lately.
Yes.
So been having fun with that.
Yeah. You guys have put up a lot of great videos on like techniques and weapons and things like that. I'm really digging that, as a matter of fact. Some stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing too is we have another one called King Kong Palm, where this is all about technical understanding of hand-to-hand combat and all that good stuff with my partner Master Ron.
Yeah, Sifu Ron.
Yeah.
Sifu Ron.
He is
that guy gets a lot of trouble, Sifu Ron. Yeah. So tell me, it's kicking off the new year, Chinese New Year. What's new with the village? You guys have any celebration stuff that you guys are doing, or anything in particular? Yeah, fill us in.
Yeah, we had a celebration today. It was really cool. For us, it's simple. It's generally revolved around drinking tea and eating food. So that's that's kind of how it rolls for us. But yeah, it was really good. Good student base. We open it out to the public. So if the public want to come in and enjoy, and we had some people come in and had some tea and great conversation and all that good stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that. I'm gonna have to get up there soon so I can celebrate with you guys. I definitely don't want to get when there's food and tea and all that involved, I definitely don't want to get left out.
That's right. Yeah.
Get in there.
We always associated with eating.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I'd be remiss not even to mention we did a series called Debunk the Junk, where we talked about different techniques that we had to debunk a lot, because there's a lot of crap out there, a whole lot of that. So we've been busy on that front. I always respect you, Sifu Gus, because you're one of those guys that keep it real in the martial arts community. We love our traditional martial arts, but we do realize there's a lot of, hey, listen, there's a lot of crap out there. There just is. So for whatever reason.
My mouth on it. I have a hard time. My thing is, don't convince someone they can do something that they can't do.
Right.
Just be honest. Right. And there's so many ways, and that's the mission of King Kong Palm, is to help people who really want to get down the road of street combatives, more
Right.
so, and and through a traditional way. I mean, showing them how to use their farms and in more of a hand-to-hand, more practical, more science-based, and then pressure test it to make sure that we're all not losing our mind, that they can do it.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So speaking of which, I got a couple clips. You were talking about the cane before. I found this one earlier, and I like this. We talked about it earlier too. You actually using a lot of practical weapons. This is one though. I love it.
Comes up to you, you put the cane right there, and you jab him. Right? That's the simplest one. Right? The other one is a power strike, where you grab it and you come and you whack it. I don't want to whack Val because the money maker.
Smack him in the head with that cane, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, how'd you think of the idea? Yeah, let's just start talking about not just weapons, traditional martial arts weapons, because it's cool to see, our freaking bow staffs and our
Right.
freaking the games and
Right.
the kwandos, but the majority of people don't have a kwando in their trunk. So it's probably
Can you imagine someone? I'm going to the trunk. I'm going to the trunk.
yo,
I'm going to the
I'm
trunk.
about to come back with my kwando. You just wait here a minute. I got my kwando in the
Let me
back.
just
You in
get
trouble
this out.
now.
Let me just get this out. So yeah, I actually, believe it or not, I was going to Costco one day,
Right.
and there's a gentleman by the name of George Crosby, really cool dude. He and I chop it up a lot. And George is in his late 70s, and he's
Okay.
ex-military vet, marched with Dr. King, was a
Wow.
producer for many shows, like your father would know the shows,
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure
um,
he would. Yeah.
but really cool dude. And he pulled me aside. He goes, "Hey, I heard that you can help me if I had to use a cane." He goes, "So I'm getting up there in age, and I'm having balance issues, and I'm like, man, so you're talking my jam there." So I
Right.
decided, I said, you know what? I'm gonna put a cane video out there. And my videos don't generally get a lot of numbers, but this video got some serious numbers, and
Saw that.
I was very pleasantly surprised that the military vets really enjoyed it, and a lot of the guys came out. I'm 70 years old. Thank you. This is very practical, and
Yes.
my thing is practical. My thing is
Right.
practical,
Right.
and so
Yeah.
it's been nice. It's been really nice doing it.
No, and it's great because again, back to my point before, as much as I like broadsword and all these other weapons, it's like you just don't have those on hand when like the bad guys out there, but you might have
Right,
a cane, or you
right,
might even be able to just grab a broom and kick the
right.
end off and then use it
Yeah,
with a lot of techniques that we use with
yeah,
bow staff or even short staff or
yeah,
whatever. And I think it's really about that in Kung Fu. And that's really where we need to evolve to as martial arts teachers,
yeah,
just in general, how
yeah,
to
yeah,
make this, your words exactly, practical, how to make things practical, especially in 2024 in the new year. Yeah. So
yeah.
how do we do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people try to convince me that kung fu didn't come from fighting. I go, look at China's history. Matter
Right.
of fact, the regime change was done basically by kung fu practitioners, you
Right.
know, and
And it's
so
called martial arts, right? It's not called ballet. This is the one thing I
hello,
remind people of. This is the martial in the art, martial meaning
exactly.
war.
And what I tell
Yeah.
people, I said, I understand, and I do understand the other side. You and I talk about this all the time, that there is a business component too, as
Yeah.
well. But what that's going to force people to do is have to, I hate to sound this way, become better teachers and teaching it from a practical perspective. Because people don't want to get injured, I get that, but there's some truths to learning martial arts. It is rough. You are
Right.
going to get bruising here and there. You're going to,
Yeah.
it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's martial arts. This is why it works in the street, because it's martial. But if you're not willing to go there, my philosophy, if you're not willing to go there as an instructor, just tell your students, because then they come into my studio and then they get hit for the first time, and then they're all bent out of shape.
It's like, what was that? What was that?
Oh, I've been in business for 25 years. I've had my school for 25 years, and it's shocking how many people have in the past, not so much anymore, which is good, because we're like,
Mm.
listen, but how many people get hit the first time when they come in to the village, and they're shocked by it. And I'm like, but
And
you're a
and
martial. How have you trained for a decade? How is that possible? you know.
It's the old Mike Tyson saying everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right? So you're
Yeah,
like, come on, man. Is it, but
yeah,
that's the reality. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody. There's a majority of people out there though who train, especially in traditional martial arts, not to bash, the train in this, and
yeah,
then it's like the rude awakening because it's not
right.
just the forms, it's not just the fancy stuff,
Yeah.
It's like,
And
come
and
on.
and and I went down a whole deep dive for Chinese New Year to my students today. And I said, listen, there is a history in these forms, right?
Right,
I go, there's not a form that we have in the village that I can't show you not only the combative aspect, that we can pressure test it and I can show you the same thing. Right? It's
right,
not set up, okay, I throw the punch and okay, you sit there while I do all these fancy moves and yell all these fancy words. It's not that. It's that, what happens if you get coming out of an elevator or someone come at you while you're at your car? Can you put them into a practical concept? And that's what Kung Fu should be, although it's moved more to sparring, which there's nothing wrong with sparring. But
right.
when you go back, to the Boxer Rebellion, or you go back to one of the times that the Shaolin Temple was burnt down, nobody was sparring and they were fighting for their lives. And that's a different understanding,
Right.
and that's
I
what
mean, what
oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, I always say, I know there are different levels to it. There's some people that are purely in it for the health benefits, the holistic side, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But there are for those that are coming in specifically to learn, hey, I want to learn how to protect myself, self-defense. You got to get past just, oh, it's just, well, it's in the forums. No. There's applications in the forums, but until you actually pressure test this stuff,
yeah,
you're not going to know what's going to work and what's not going to work. And especially as instructors, we should teach this universally so that it can apply to everybody. But we all
right.
know we gravitate to what works for us, and you won't know what works for you until you actually pressure test and get in there and like bang heads a little bit. There's no way around it.
And I get it, and I get it. And once again, I'm a business owner. I get it. Owning a martial arts studio, like I say, in 25 years, it is much harder to do what we do now than we did when I first opened.
Right.
And so I understand that. With that being said, that the onus is on the instructor to find out how to get the message across for those who are interested, because there's always someone who's willing to go the distance with you. All right, okay, teach me whatever you're going to teach me. I don't care how painful it
True.
is. I don't care how long I have to practice. There's always someone in your school who's willing to do that. And you cannot you can't teach to your limitations. And that's what once again, King Kong Palm is for, is to say,
Right.
all those instructors who reach out and say, listen, can you help me with this? All we want to do is share. Ron and I, we just want to share. And
Absolutely.
and we learn from people as well. So it's a good thing. But to tell me that there's no fighting in Kung Fu, I don't know. There's a lot of dirty fighting in Kung Fu.
Right. So the people who created this stuff the people have to understand that they created this with the idea of protecting themselves and being able to use it in combat. Like you're
Yeah,
saying, a lot of these styles were created during the time of these dynasties when war was going on.
yeah.
So it doesn't make sense that like however many years later, but there's there's really nothing like like combat wise in there. That's crazy. It's martial arts.
And I
Again,
get
to
it,
your point.
and I get why. I hate to say it, the advent of tournaments.
That's true.
Those that has actually brought the concept down. But go back to the 70s. You and I, we've had lunch with Sensei Cecil Peoples, and we've talked to these
Absolutely.
guys who were around the 70s. Everyone fought in the 70s.
Yes,
Like, you
sir.
got punched and kicked and thrown around, and that's just the way it was. And this is why I said something to Sensei one time, and he said something to me, Sensei Cecil, and I
Love
said,
Sensei.
there was a rumor back in the day that you would prefer to fight a person with a gun than fight a black belt. And he looks at
Mm,
me and just looked up at the sky and goes, ah, the good old days. He goes, because it was
right.
brutal. It was
Right.
brutal. And to me, it's like, well, why, and I get that. Once again,
Yeah.
we have a business to run. No one wants to go to work with broken ribs and all that stuff. However, it's information, and it's practical information. There's a lot of schools that are also getting their message out and teaching good students too.
Right. Well, you say that, it's funny that you say that. And yes, the good old days, but it's like there were still instructors back there with schools to run, but people went in and they took the bumps and
Yeah,
bruises and they
right.
got better. That
Right.
was the whole point. They were
Yeah.
taking this for a reason. And now there's nothing wrong with tournaments. I've been to my share. I know you've been to your share.
Right.
And it's good to get your stuff out there and see what other people are doing and even compete on the sparring levels as well. But again, I always tell people it's really about the training and the level you want to go to. Do you really want to be proficient and be able to protect yourself, your family, anybody, or do you just want to, do it for the health reasons or, like the entertainment value,
Right.
pick your poison. But if you are, good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I tell people, but you got to know what you're asking for. Like I met a gentleman, a young man, the other day, because my school is right above Boss Rutan School, as you know.
That's right.
Boss Rutan's
That's right.
MMA school, and we're cool. They're all awesome people over there, and I just love them. And I met a young man who's competing, and he's like, yeah, I'm getting out there doing it. And people are like, well, how are you having a school right next door, right above Boss Root? And I go, well, their audience is just different than ours, right? Their audience is just different. A lot of our people are a little bit older, right? They don't want to mess around. They want to know how to get themselves home, get out of a sticky situation. And if anyone comes in and they want to spar and learn how to, compete in MMA, I send them downstairs. I go, because those guys are really good at what they do.
Yeah. No, and it makes sense. So I'm gonna do a segment every week. I'm trying to do segment martial arts news, my clip of the week. And by the way, happy birthday! I forgot to mention that.
Thank
Gus
you.
just had a birthday, so we were remiss. And I know you got family coming over. Everything.
I'm old enough to get up slow now.
All good. It's all hey, but you're still getting up, right?
That's right.
So my martial arts news of the week, we've got something here. It's a clip here. I'm going to show part of this clip because it gets a little intense, but you guys will see in a minute while we're showing it because we're talking about combat and self-defense specifically. Okay, so bottom line is here, you're seeing, it's really quick, but it's a clip and I had to cut it off a little bit. So it's like, because YouTube and all that, it gets a little violent. But the point is there's a guy, he's trying to initially get away from another guy who's got a knife. And as the guy's running, you see he's trying to kick the guy away from him. And he keeps moving, but the guy's just intense. He catches up with him, and then when he finally gets the person on the ground, he starts stabbing, and it's very violent. And but it's reality to me because this is really, if you're training, especially with knife defense, weapon defense, this is really what you're training against. That person that's really high energy, that's just seeing blood red in their eyes, they just want you, like hurt, injured, or killed, God forbid. And they're not even thinking clearly, maybe in the minute, it's just heated. But the one thing I'm going to say, even before we start openly talking about it, is just for all the people that always say, because we know we always get this. I was going to ask you about comments on YouTube in a second, Sifu Gus. But no, it's fun. It's fun, right? It's like the pros and cons of the YouTube world. But the one thing you and I probably always get is like, but if you're in this situation, someone's got a knife gun, just run. Okay, but sometimes you can't always run. And in this case, this guy's trying to run, but this other guy's just so hot in pursuit that even the guy even kicks the guy away to get space and keeps running. And we say that a lot in martial arts, my craft classes, create space equals escape, all that, but sometimes not enough. So in this case, this poor guy couldn't do that. And the guy's on top of him. And then what then? Because if your only option in your mind is Nike defense, I'm just going to run, then okay. but if you happen to trip and fall, then what? So the training, right?
Well, and people, they have this delusion of what they see on YouTube and delusion of what they see on TV. And violence, being around it enough in my life, it's never what you think it is. And you're often in shock when it's happening. That's why pressure testing is so important. Neurologically, we can train ourselves to at least get to a point where we can still act, right? But these guys, I mean, something like this is crazy violent and not unheard of. That's the problem. And that's when I see these guys go, well, they only come at you if they do this, and they only come at you if they do this, and they only come. I go, no, you've never been around violence then.
And here's the deal. It's not going to be, and for knife defense, it may be the Michael Myers stab, but more than likely, it's not going to be. It's going to be that jailhouse, I'm just going at you like relentlessly. that's
There's
the
a
person
term.
who
I might
takes
have to cut a fool.
right. I'm
and,
like, I'm
and
gonna have to cut you.
exactly.
It's like,
And that's the difference. See, here's the issue I have, and you and I have talked about this at nauseum.
yeah,
Martial art masters have separated fighting from violence.
right.
Right?
That's
I
a good
got
point.
lucky. I got lucky. Violence was never separated from the way I learned. So
Mm,
I don't get to say, well, this is the classical way of doing this movement, and this is a modern way of doing this movement. Like, no, this is a violent way. And when I did Sansu, it was the only art that I saw, and I was looking for a lot of schools in Southern California. It was the only art that I saw addressed the violence that I was interacting with. It was the only
right.
art that I saw. Like these guys, I'm like, you guys aren't running away. You guys aren't trying to throw long kicks. You guys are going right in it, beating the crap out of someone. I hadn't seen that. And, you know, I always say it's not a secret. In the 90s, I was doing a lot of stupid things. So,
Right.
so,
A
so
lot of us were. Yeah.
exactly. So what I've gotten lucky to do is put that in a context where it's shareable with people and say, listen, this, you know, in Krav, which is great about Krav, is you can get a lot in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Now, to be fair, as a business owner, we used to do that a lot too. But my first 10 students were black belts from another system. I won't say. They lasted a
Okay.
week and a half because we took that principle. You know,
Right.
we took that
Only a
principle.
week and a half.
They were
Right.
not used to violence. They were not used
Yeah.
to violence, and they were black belts. And so, as a business owner, we said, well, let's share this over time to reduce the risk of injury, to get them to understand how to you know, interact with it, to let them reconcile their feelings from dealing with violence and then acting,
Right.
you know. So it took us some time to really get down that road, and we're there now. So that's what, once again, King Kong Palm is for us to share it with those instructors. Because I've had instructors go, well, you know, I have a business, so I can't. I go, well, that's not a viable excuse, you know.
I was just about to say that can't be your only out. I get it. If you're there, you have a school, you've got to make money. We get it. You got to keep the lights on. But at the same
Yeah.
time, to your point earlier, if you're only going to teach me the aesthetic stuff and the fancy stuff, then let me know that right away. I got no problem with you just teaching monkey
Yeah.
steel to Pete stuff all day long and float out of levitate and do the crouching tiger stuff.
Right.
But let me know that as the person, as the client, as the future student.
Yeah, because I've had enough people who've contacted me or come into the village and we chatted, and they were young, you know, and they were athletic, and they would say to me, I am a black belt, but I got attacked and nothing I did worked, and it wasn't the most horrific attack. I've had black belts who joined our school who go, you know, I'm a third-degree black belt, but I've never hit anybody before. And I'm like, how is that a thing? Like, how is that a thing? You know? And I get it. I get it. And then I ask, because I got to ask, I go, well, let me ask you a question. Do you want to know how to learn how to defend yourself?
Right.
You may not want to learn how to do it. You may just want the exercise, and that's cool too. But
it's
as a martial artist, you know this. You and I talk about this all the time. After a while, they're gonna be like, well, I'm a third-degree black belt. I can just do the, you know, whooshy, you know, kill anybody, you know.
Right. My hands are lethal weapons. Right. Come on. But it's funny you say that, and maybe not funny, but even in Krav, we talk a lot when we're like, especially with our beginner students at level 1, it's like we almost have to give you permission to be violent, because that's part of it. And the other end of it, you have people coming from the regular world, you know, they do just regular jobs, and they're not used to grabbing people and just hitting them in the face and using your elbows and knees and so, oh my God, did I hurt you and all that? So you've got to let them get over that part as well. And that's also a piece of the puzzle that people may or may not think about. But when they do, and they finally go, okay, especially when you got pads and stuff, you know, we're never going to just like put you in there like it's a melee. Of course, you've got safety measures and stuff, train safely, but you're going to have to bring it, because out there, the time to figure out that your martial arts doesn't work is not on the street. It's in the dojo.
No, that's not what you want to do.
Right. That's not what you want to do.
And that's why I hold instructors accountable. I'm like, listen, there's a way to do it, right? There's a way to do it in 2024, there's a way to do it. And the reality is if you're not, as an instructor, if you're not willing to teach that to your students, then you need to tell your students that, listen, this is just the traditions of what we do. We're going to show you some movements, but you at least be honest. And I get you have to run a business, but these people are then, once again, coming into my school going, I can kick anyone's butt because of blah, 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 blah.
Right. until it's time. Oh,
Exactly.
I know Sifu Gus got your family in the house. I'm
Oh,
not gonna keep you much longer, but
granddaughter.
oh, there she is. Oh,
Say hi,
beautiful.
world.
Oh my gosh. How old is your granddaughter?
She just turned 1.
Oh my God, so precious. How are you?
Yeah.
How are you, lovely? Oh my goodness. What's her name?
Riot.
Riot. Hi. How are you? Say hi to everybody.
We're
Say
gonna
hi to
teach
all
her
the.
how to do her full horse, and I'm gonna give her a knife by the age of 2.
There you go. Right. We'll keep those dudes away. Yeah, we will make sure
Exactly.
no one's
All boys
messing
are
with you,
bad. All
girl.
boys are bad.
No one's gonna be messing with your granddaughter.
All right. Say bye, Riot.
Bye. So good to see you.
So
Well, I will keep you Sifu Gus. And to your point earlier, yes, it is about the training. So I'm gonna
yeah.
let people know if they want to train with you. How do they get in touch with you easily?
TheVillageWithGusGates.com. That's the best way to reach me. I'm Village Sifu on Instagram, and I'm Gus Gates on Facebook. But come on, let's talk about some of the comments.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say before I let you go. Give me because here's the other world for us. It's like we're martial arts instructors, students, whatever, practitioners, but we're also in this crazy YouTube world. And sometimes it's like we got all these ups, and sometimes there's these downs.
Right.
But in the meantime, there's always the comments, good or bad.
I
So
got I
yeah,
got a good one for you. So I was
go
like,
ahead.
I was like, oh, the comments, because they were, I was getting with after I did the cane video, there was a lot of great comments, and thank you. We're vets. We really appreciate this. I walk with a cane, blah blah. And I walked in the studio one day in the village one day, and I go, it's so cool. I've only been getting good comments. Why did I say that?
Oh
Man,
no,
then almost an hour later, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been doing
right.
cane for 60 years and he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, oh, dude, I get you. And you know what? Thank you for the metadata. I appreciate it, because I'm not going to argue.
Hey, exactly. I think I told you this before when I had one of my guests on before. He said the same thing. It was just like, yeah, in fact, Coach Donovan Britt out of Vegas,
Yeah,
he was just
yeah.
like, yeah, I love all the comments. It's like, you can hate all you want, but number one, you're watching it. So it's like
Right,
you're watching me and you're complaining about me, but you're still watching me. Thank you
right.
for helping with the algorithm. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know what I
And
mean?
I think that's
So
why
applaud to you.
the video jumped, because people are, oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, he's and the cool thing with these people didn't understand, the people who it's helping are sending me emails. They're watching, getting my information, going to my website, sending me personal emails going, we really would like to work with you. We're a group of vets. We want to, work with a cane and all that stuff. And so as the guy said, the one guy goes, 357, enough said. I'm like, good for
Oh,
you,
good
man.
Lord.
Good for you. But
I love
that
it.
is yeah, exactly. That I'm like, once again, you're gonna have to come a lot tougher than that to
Right.
scratch this surface, because I've just been through too much to deal with a little hate, and it's social media, really.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is like, as people, we put ourselves out there, we don't have any control of what the public says or does. So it's
No,
like, if you're going to do this, you got to be able to just take the good and the bad. And there's a lot of good. So it's like,
yeah,
that's the
no, more
plus
good for
side,
me than
right?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more
Yeah.
good for me than bad. Yeah, it's been really good, and I'm gonna get down the road. I had only planned to do one cane video. I
Nice.
had only planned to do one cane video, but people have been asking about certain things. One guy asked, which was really cool. He goes, "Well, I sometimes I don't have my cane, but I have a hockey stick. Can you show me?" I'm like, "Oh, interesting. All
There you
right,
go. Right.
hey, I'm down."
Well,
So
back to when we started the conversation in the beginning, it's like I love the idea of taking the practical side of all these weapons that we do
right,
deal with in the traditional martial arts world. Because again, you don't got the Kwando in the car, and if you do, hey, props to you, but most of
that's
us
right,
don't. But yeah, like you're saying, I might have a hockey stick. I can use it. And
absolutely.
by the way, a lot of the moves in Kwando could probably be utilized with a hockey stick. This is like,
Yeah, and I once again, I love weapons, and I love using like things that are practical.
yes.
Tactical pins, stun guns. I would carry a knife around, but with all this gorgeousness, I don't want a police officer to say, "We're gonna have a bad day with you today." So
Right.
I
And
don't want
yeah,
to
that's
risk
it. It's like certain laws and spread where it depends
exactly,
on where you live. Is it really worth the
exactly,
risk? You be the judge, but
exactly.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, so
But
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say thank you for all you do, man. It's been always been, we get on the phone for hours talking about all
Yeah, yeah, man. We talk, man. Me and Sifu Gus, we talk a lot, and it's
that.
like he's one of the dudes I've really, really been able to click with, because we just have a lot of mutual interests and things that we're like, we're on the same page with that. It's like, listen, I think the cool thing with both of us is like we love martial arts, but we don't sugarcoat shit. We're just like, listen, we're here for, and we're here to do the real stuff, and we're here to teach people the real stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like I've said this to you a lot, especially with instructors. I don't understand how there are instructors out there who sleep at night knowing that the stuff they may have taught a student may or may not be some BS, but then that said student gets hurt or God forbid injured or killed. And how do you live with yourself if you're doing
it? No, I hear some crazy stories. People have gotten kidnapped, and these are people who are at the black sash, black belt level. And I'm like, shame on your instructor. Shame on your instructor. You should at least know how to run, use if you can't run, fight. If you can't fight, scream. If you can't scream, scratch. If you can't scratch, but you should learn some survival skills, because if you're doing whether it's karate or kung fu, you are coming from a history of violence. You're coming from a history of violence.
Yes. And a guy that we mutually respect out there, we both read his book. Tim Larkin has that book, When Violence is the Answer. There's so much that I learned from reading that book. So again, thanks for hitting me to that. But the one thing that's universal that he says in that, and unfortunately, probably you have this as well, as circumstances with you, when people come in to train, they usually don't come in, unfortunately, until after there's been an assault or after they've had a situation, versus before. Train so that you don't have to deal with that, or that you're ready. It usually happens the other way around, unfortunately. The stats are
no, absolutely. And I mean, I've had people come in my studio and they have been not attacked once, they've been attacked multiple times.
It's crazy.
And it took them so long to get in. I get it. Oh, once you get over that emotional component of it, then, but the best thing you should do, guess what? If your doctor said, listen, you need to lose some lbs because you're going to start having, diabetes and high blood pressure and all that stuff, you start working out, you start eating better. Well, this is a new thing now. But I watch people, their mentality is, I go to the gym to get stronger. I'm like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. And there's nothing wrong with going to the gym. I'm a gym guy. But the reality at the end of the day is, if you train with Sifu Quasi, you train with Sifu Gus, you'll not only get in shape, you'll actually know what to do, and you'll be able to reconcile emotions that you haven't dealt with yet.
Right. Yeah. Listen, I love me some bicep curls and some bench press, but when someone flashes a knife at me, I can't show them my biceps, and be like, hope they just run away.
Exactly.
And if they do, then I'm lucky as hell. But for the most part, I still got to train.
Like this one lady, she goes, I'm in great shape. I'm a martial artist, and I got attacked in the elevator. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I want to give you kudos again, Sifu Gus. Thanks again for doing this tonight. Definitely, if you guys are looking for a kung fu school, martial arts school to train, to really that one that's serious about self-defense, self-awareness, combat skills, and all that, look up Sifu Gus there. I promise you will not regret that. And we'll definitely talk some more, my friend. But thanks for doing this one tonight.
Yes, we got to get some FaceTime soon.
Yeah, we're doing it. Speaking of Sensei Cecil, we'll hit him up again and hopefully be able to sit down and break some bread, because his stories are always amazing. Shameless plug, by the way, for everybody watching. My interview with Cecil Peoples is down below. Also, I'll link that down, because that was a lot of fun. And Sifu Gus here's the one that originally hooked me up with him. Really great guy.
Awesome, man. I love that dude. He is funny. He is so funny, man. He got stories
for days. For days. You mentioned like you have a story of your own. You mentioned 3 or 4 people. He got a story about every one of those people you mentioned.
Exactly.
It's like your old school uncle. Like, I know such. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story about that guy. I know that that guy.
And I think he must have something on everybody, because everyone respects him.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody really talks bad about Sensei Cecil. I'm like, and if you do, it's like, okay, you must not know this guy, because you're crazy.
That's right.
The Sifu Gus, I'm gonna let you go. I know I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your weekend and your birthday weekend with your family and all. Thanks for doing this. We'll talk very, very soon, brother.
Yes, thank you, and have a great day. Love me some Kung Fu Chronicles, man. I'm so proud of what you're doing. It needs to get out there.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate all the help, and definitely give Sifu Ron some love. Tell him I'll be around to smack him in the back of the head as soon as possible.
That's right.
I wish I could actually be in Vegas. He's in Vegas. I wish I could be in Vegas this weekend for the Super Bowl, but
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
sure he's enjoyed it.
I'm pretty sure he's staying away from that area in Vegas.
Yeah, he probably is. All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
Be well. Take it easy.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so there we go. My man Sifu Gus joining in. That was great. And once again, guys, happy Chinese New Year, Gung Hay Fat Choy. This one went a little bit over. I want all of you to know the appreciation I have for everybody who's part of the Kung Fu Chronicles family, helping me grow, helping me get better, helping me do things like this and doing live conversations with people. If you've got suggestions, by the way, for anyone you'd like to see on, in fact, in the comments earlier in one of my other videos, I saw someone had requested someone's particular for me to interview, and I appreciate all that. I appreciate, by the way, all the love that I'm getting lately on a lot of the older videos. So I know that's kind of how the YouTube algorithm works, and like a lot of these older videos kind of start getting picked up and gain a little traction. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So applaud you all. Shouts out to you guys. Gotta be all a little bit of love. Do not forget.
Don't just stand there, like and subscribe.
Yeah, do me that little favor. Help a brother out down below, and yeah, go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let us know what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying. We'll always take comments as long as we've got some positivity behind them, and things are constructive, okay? Because we want to grow from this and keep growing and building up the community. A lot of great things headed your way, guys. New videos every Wednesday. Don't forget about that. Lives every week. Next week, we go back to the regular Friday nights at 8 o'clock. I just wanted to do a special Chinese New Year one for you guys so that we acknowledge Chinese New Year and wish a very special Gung Hay Fat Choy to everybody. So I want to close out with that. And yeah, comments wise, just got a lot of Gung Hay Fat Choice here. Appreciate you guys. Happy New Year back to you. Happy New Year back to you guys. Gung Hay Fat Choy to you. And let me know what you guys are doing. If you're in a traditional martial arts school, a Chinese Kung Fu especially, what are you guys doing for the new year? What especially are you guys doing for the new year? Let me know. I'd love to hear the stories. Even if it's not tonight, go ahead and comment down below and let me know. I'll put my my info one more time down for you. For people that don't know, you can email, hit me on the IG. If you don't hit us, or if you don't are not able to make the chat live like now, you can always do it later just by commenting in these sections here on all my socials. So guys, I will see you all, talk to you all next week, Friday, 8 o'clock. Might have a special guest, might not every week. Sometimes we're going to do that. If it's a special occasion or something, I think a guest would really benefit from talking to you all here. I will leave the link also to that video that we Sifu Gus and I talked about. Unfortunately, the guy that got stabbed, I don't know whether lived or died. Hopefully he survived. Kind of doubtful, but I will leave that link down below. YouTube only lets you show so much. But again, as I close, I really want to reemphasize the benefits of training. Some sort of self-defense, even if it's not specifically martial arts, some sort of training for you just as a person, so that you can stay safe, so that you can be a little bit better aware, so that you have some tools in your toolbox, as we like to say. So if God forbid some sort of some person comes to you with malicious intent, you're able to respond in kind with some sort of skill level and not just be like, oh my God, hey, like a deer in headlights. It's like I always close when I teach my classes. It's like our aim is to always get people home safe. We want you to get home safe. You're just out there minding your business, living your life, and people are out there that have bad intentions. We want to make sure that you're able to avoid those people. But if you do end up unfortunately having an unfortunate meeting with those people, have something like in your toolbox that you can use to still get yourself home safe and have a positive outcome for yourself. It ain't always going to be the running. Sometimes you can run, sometimes you can, as we demonstrated in the video that we showed before. So again, guys, thanks once again to Sifu Gus Gates for being a part of tonight's live, and you guys for being a part of the live. Appreciate you all. We'll see you all next week. Again at 8 p.m. And by the way, if there's another time that you guys are into, don't be shy to let me know that.
Stand there, like and subscribe.
Well,
Don't just stand there, like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Do that for me. Like and subscribe. Check us out next week. And guys, stay safe. See you all in the next round. Keep punching.